back to The Financial Architect, the place where we design a better financial future. We're glad to have you with us today. Let's dive into today's topic. Okay, so let's unpack this. We've all seen the dramatic financial headlines, right? The volatile charts, the red arrows on our phones. And when we look at those numbers, we often feel this surge of panic. So today's deep dive is really for anyone who has ever felt that internal struggle. We are exploring what we're calling the Stoic investor, the psychological secret to long-term wealth that has, well, absolutely nothing to do with math.
That's exactly right. We've gathered sources on behavioral finance, ancient philosophy, even neuroscience, and the core puzzle we're trying to solve for you today is it's simple, but it's profound.
Okay.
Why do smart, successful people, I'm talking doctors, engineers, successful business owners, still consistently make destructive decisions with their money?
It seems like they should know better.
You'd think so. But our deep dive is going to show you that investing success isn't about predicting the stock market's next move. It is entirely about mastering your own internal reactions.
So if you can control your mind...
You can control your money. Simple as that.
All right, let's address the big myth right away. When we talk about building wealth, I think most people, they immediately assume you need to be some kind of genius.
A super high IQ.
Yeah, high IQ score. Or you need to do complex calculus, or maybe you have some secret tip from an insider. That's what we always hear.
And what's fascinating here is that the sources consistently tell us that's just, well, it's wrong. Financial success is not a high IQ competition. It is a game of temperament.
Wait, temperament? I hear that word, but I need to understand it better in this context. What exactly is the difference between intelligence and temperament when we're talking about my retirement savings?
That's a great question. So intelligence is your horsepower. It's the raw processing power of your brain. Your ability to learn facts, analyze complex data, solve hard problems. Temperament, on the other hand, is your internal steering wheel. It's your capacity for emotional control, for patience, for steadiness, especially when the facts or the data become, well, terrifying. And we can look to Warren Buffett, arguably the most successful long-term investor in history. He drove this point home perfectly.
What did he say?
He stated it very clearly. He said, investing is not a game where the guy with the 160 IQ beats the guy with the 130 IQ.
That quote is so... It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I get the point. But let's really dig into it. Why would a brilliant engineer, someone who can design a complicated bridge, panic during a routine market downturn and lose money? But then you see this, calm, average income librarian who just steadily put money away for 30 years.
Yeah.
And they retire wealthy. What's the fundamental difference in what they're doing?
The distinction lies in their approach to control. It's all about control. The brilliant engineer, they see the market as a complicated puzzle.
Something they should be able to solve.
Exactly. Given their high intellect, they think they should be able to predict it, to outsmart it. And this overconfidence, it often leads them to take huge risks or jump into hot stocks.
Or trying to time the bottom of a crash.
That's the critical one. Trying to predict the absolute low point. But the calm librarian, they understand the limits of their control. They focus on their simple plan.
Just contributing regularly?
Contributing regularly, diversifying, and just letting time do the heavy lifting. They don't try to guess the future. They focus on controlling their internal response to right now.
So intelligence becomes a weakness when it encourages you to try and control something you can't control. That makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. And to really cement this idea of control versus chaos, let's use a picture in our minds. Let's imagine the stock market is the ocean.
Yeah, the market is the ocean.
The market crashes, the rapid changes, the volatility that is the ocean itself. Those are the waves and the storms that crash against the shore. These things are the uncontrollable parts of investing. You can be the smartest person on the planet, but you cannot scream at a tsunami and make it stop.
And trying to guess when the next wave is coming.
That's what we call trying to time the market. It's a futile effort. It just exhausts investors and leads to terrible decisions.
So if the storms are unavoidable, what can we control? What is our ship in this metaphor?
Great question. Your ship is your portfolio, your savings rate, your asset allocation.
Wait, what does asset allocation mean? In simple words.
In simple words, that just means how you divide your money between different things like stocks and bonds. And most importantly, your ship is your reaction.
Yeah.
That ship is entirely within your control. You decide what it's made of and how it handles the waves. And this is where, some ancient wisdom comes into play.
Okay.
Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, he offered the foundation for this discipline thousands of years ago. His central teaching was that the root of all human suffering is trying to control things that are external.
Things that are not yours to control.
Exactly. So if we apply that to finance, financial suffering comes when you focus on controlling the market. Financial peace comes when you focus on controlling your own mind and your own ship.
This philosophy gives us two really different types of investors then, doesn't it? The one who tries to fight the waves and the one who just rides them out.
Exactly. First, we have the reject investor. This person wastes all their energy trying to control the weather.
Reading forecasts, trying to jump in and out.
All day long, their temperament is weak, and they let these external events dictate their internal peace.
Okay.
Then you have the Stoic investor, or the fix-it investor. This person accepts the reality of the market ocean. They know they can't stop the storm, so instead they focus on adjusting their sails.
Tell me more about adjusting the sails. What does that mean for, my actual account?
Adjusting the sails means using diversification. It is the most powerful defense a Stoic investor has.
And diversification, in simple words, that means?
It just means not putting all your money into a single investment, or even a single type of investment. When you diversify, you have different parts of your ship. Some stocks, some bonds, maybe some real estate funds.
Okay, I see.
So when a sudden wave hits the stock market side of your ship, the bond side helps keep you afloat. It lets you ride out the storm instead of panicking because you know your portfolio was designed to get hit.
Let's put these two mindsets into a high-pressure situation. Let's use an example from recent history. Imagine a sudden, brutal market crash, like the one we saw in early 2020. The market drops 30% in just a few weeks. The fear was, it was everywhere.
That scenario is perfect for separating the reject from the fix-it. Let's start with emotional Tom. Tom's a high achiever, very smart, but he's running that reject mindset.
So that 30% drop is a massive trigger. Tom opens his financial app. He sees red slashing everywhere. What's his immediate psychological and physical reaction?
Well, it's immediate and it's physiological. His heart starts racing, his chest tightens, his palms sweat. This is not a financial calculation. This is a pure biological response.
The fight or flight response.
The fight or flight mechanism is kicking in. He doesn't feel like he's losing money. He feels like he is in danger, like real physical danger.
Wow.
So Tom immediately creates this devastating narrative in his mind. He's screaming internally, this is a catastrophe, it's going to zero. I have to stop the bleeding right now before I lose everything.
And because that feeling is so powerful,
yeah,
what action does he take?
He ignores his long-term plan entirely. He rushes to his computer or his phone and he sells. He sells everything immediately, locking in that full 30% loss, convinced he just saved himself from total ruin.
What's the result for Tom?
The result is tragic, really. First, he permanently converts a paper loss into a real locked-in loss. It's gone. Second, when the market inevitably stabilizes and then roars back, which it did very rapidly, Tom is standing on the sidelines with only cash.
He missed the whole recovery.
Completely missed it. His wealth creation plan is destroyed.
Ouch. Okay, now let's turn to Stoic Sarah. She's running the fix-it mindset. She also sees that massive 30% drop. How is her internal reaction different?
So Sarah acknowledges the data, she sees the red, but she has practiced emotional discipline. Instead of rushing to her phone, she takes a physical pause.
A deep breath.
A deep breath, a walk around the house. She reminds herself of the philosophy. The market is external, my plan is internal.
And her internal story, her narrative.
It's completely different from Tom's. She thinks, this is not danger, this is a sale. Quality companies, things I wanted to buy anyway, are now 30% cheaper. This is a discount event.
So she sees an opportunity where Tom only saw panic. What is her action?
Her action is defined by doing nothing, inertia, which is the hardest thing for the human brain to do during a panic. Or, if she's followed the Stoic discipline of keeping some cash ready.
What some people call dry powder.
Exactly, dry powder. She actually buys more. She carefully adds to her investments while everyone else is running away in fear.
And the result for Sarah?
It's dramatically different. She holds steady and she rides the recovery all the way up. She benefited from buying at lower prices. Within 2 years, her portfolio had not only recovered that loss, but it was significantly higher, all because she allowed her patient, long-term plan to work.
Okay, here's where we get to the biology of it. Why is it so hard to be Sarah? Why does seeing a simple red number on a screen trigger the exact same sinking gut feeling as a genuine physical threat? It feels like an ancient alarm bell going off.
It absolutely is an ancient alarm bell, and it's so important for you to understand the biology of that tiny micro moment of panic. When you see those flashing red numbers, the command center for your panic is your amygdala.
Wait, what is the amygdala, and why should I care about it when I'm just trying to manage my investments?
The amygdala is a small almond-shaped part of your brain that we often call the lizard brain. It is the oldest, most primal part of our biological structure, and its only job is physical survival.
So it's for, like, running from lions.
Exactly. It evolved to help us react instantly to lions or fire or enemy tribes. But here is the massive glitch in the human operating system.
What's the glitch?
Your lizard brain cannot tell the difference between losing half your money and being chased by a hungry lion. It interprets any intense negative signal as a direct threat to your survival.
So the red arrow on my phone becomes the lion. That's incredible.
Precisely. Your body triggers the full-blown survival response, adrenaline pumps, your heart rate spikes, and your higher rational thinking part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, it just shuts down.
It goes offline.
It goes offline. You are chemically ready to make a very fast, very poor decision to save yourself from what is just a math problem. This is why fear makes us temporarily stupid.
If we're going to navigate this fear, we need the right words, the right vocabulary to describe the storms without panicking. Let's formally break down the financial terms we've been using.
Good idea. Let's start with volatility.
Okay, volatility. In simple words, that means?
In simple words, that means the choppiness of the water. High volatility means the price of your investment moves up and down very, very fast. It creates that stomach-churning anxiety.
Right.
But what's crucial to realize is that volatility is not a defect. It is a necessary feature of the market. High returns over the long term are the reward you get for enduring the short-term choppiness. You have to accept it.
Okay, understood. Next term, correction. It sounds scary, like a doctor's telling you something's wrong.
It does sound scary, but a correction is actually a very normal, healthy event. A correction just means the market has dropped 10% or more from its most recent peak.
And that happens often.
They happen, on average, every 18 to 24 months. They are routine. Think of it like a small forest fire. It clears out the old wood, the excesses, so that new, healthy growth can take root. The Stoic investor actually welcomes corrections.
And finally, let's define Stoicism itself, just in the context of finance.
Right. Financial Stoicism is the discipline of ignoring the noise.
What's the noise?
The noise is the panic stories, the speculative media headlines, the constant fear-mongering. You ignore all of that so that you can focus only on the signal.
And the signal is?
The signal is your simple, foundational, long-term plan. It's the agreement you made with yourself when you were calm and rational. It is your shield against your own lizard brain.
So what does this all mean for the listener right now? If we accept that fear makes us, chemically stupid and our lizard brain is ready to make us sell at the worst possible time, what is the simple, practical defense we can use to stop ourselves from becoming an emotional Tom?
The problem, like you said, is we just can't trust our own brains when they're flooded with adrenaline. We need a pre-commitment strategy.
A rule you set in advance.
Exactly. And the fix is simple, it's portable, and it is incredibly powerful. You implement the 24-hour rule.
I love that name. Walk us through the protocol. How does this rule work exactly?
The rule is absolute. You are never, ever allowed to execute a sell order on any investment on the same day you first decide you want to sell it.
You have to wait.
You must wait a full 24 hours before you are allowed to click that button.
And what happens in that 24 hours? I mean, if the market is still falling, won't I just feel the same panic the next day?
That's where the neuroscience comes back to help us. The 24-hour rule is a biological hack. That chemical cocktail, the adrenaline that triggers the fight or flight response, it doesn't last forever. It peaks quickly, but it also fades.
So you just need to wait it out.
You wait it out. By the next morning, 18 to 24 hours later, the lion is gone from your system. The panic recedes, and the rational, forward-thinking part of your brain, your smart brain, comes back online.
Oh.
So when you look at your phone the next day, you are no longer reacting from a survival instinct. You are reacting from a state of logic. This lets you look at your original smart plan and realize that what you panicked about yesterday was just a correction, not a catastrophe.
That is a perfect, simple defense. It creates this mandatory space between the raw feeling of fear and the irreversible action of selling.
It forces you to honor the calm agreement you made with yourself. It truly is the essential tool of the modern Stoic investor.
Because success is measured in decades, but it's lost in moments.
You got it. The greatest profits always go to the most patient and calm investors.
That's it for today's session. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to keep building your financial future with us every day. See you next time.